Okay, that's what this is about a person, a real person who at one point was saying, oh, my soul is killing me. And then he took a couple steps and he just falls on his face and asks if God could take this cup from him. And he says in the next verse, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me. Man, think about that statement. He's looking at his father and going, Father, Daddy, everything's possible. You can do anything. Remove this cup from me. Man, the Bible talks about how he was sweating drops of blood. The Bible talks about how he didn't just do this once, he did this 3 times. I mean, most of us have children. Imagine your child looking at you and going, Dad, I feel like I'm dying right now. Come on, you can do anything. You're able to do anything. Don't make me go through this. Take this away from me. Your kid sweating drops of blood, saying, I feel like I'm going to die right now. Everything inside is just killing me. Now don't make me go through it. Imagine your kid screaming to you 3 times, remove this cup from me, and then finally go, okay, but not my will, but yours be done. Not my will, but yours be done. And then Isaiah 53:10 says that it was the will of the Lord to crush him. Did you catch that? Jesus begging the Father and going, okay, but not my will, your will be done. And the Father's going, okay, my will is to crush you. God, a real being in heaven, is looking at us and looking at Jesus going, it's my will to crush you. You're going to be that guilt offering, so that you can be the firstborn of many. God's looking at us, God in heaven, Almighty God, that David Platt gave 27, things to praise him for. Like that being said, my will is to crush you. I see you crying out for me. I see you sweating drops of blood. I see you in agony and you're begging me, but my will, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to save them. I'm going to save them. And that's why we come here and we go, man, I'm not going to praise any person up there. Lord, you went through that for us. And we think we're going to add something to that. And we want people to look at what we've done. No, we're going to look at the glory of the cross. That's why Paul says, all the things that I've done, and I've done way more than everyone in this room. He goes, all the things that I've accomplished, he goes, I count them as rubbish in order that I may gain Christ. He goes, I have to look at everything I've ever done and just look at that as a big plate of dung, a big plate of rubbish, in order that I might be found in him, having a righteousness that's not of my own. Going, man, I could have that. So Jesus, on that cross, God made him who knew no sin become sin on my behalf, that I might become the righteousness of God through him. Well, I want that righteousness, and what that requires is for me to take everything I've ever done, and I have to count it all rubbish. Everything that I think I am in the flesh, all of that is all junk, in order that I may be found in him. I'm going, I want to be found in Jesus. I just want to be found in Jesus. God, I'm nothing I've ever done earns me anything. It's all garbage. It's all rubbish. Everything is about the cross, the cross, the cross. And I rest in the cross. Are you resting in the cross right now? Is your joy in the salvation that comes from Jesus? one of my daughters, she's 14, and she was going to go on a mission trip this summer to Cambodia. She would spend the summer away from us in Cambodia. This was a couple months ago, and she couldn't figure out what to do because there started to be some conflicts on her team, and she couldn't read the situation, going, gosh, should I still go? Is this a sign from God not to go? And she was telling us about the situation, so I thought about it, and then the next day I just thought, you know what, let me tell her what to do. Because, she's 14. I'm 46. I wrote Crazy Love. I know a lot of stuff. And the next day, I look at my daughter. I go, Mercy, so let's talk about your trip to Cambodia. And have you thought it through anymore? In my mind, I had the solution for her. And she says, well, Dad, I've decided I'm just going to fast and pray for a week, and then I'm going to make the decision on Saturday. I said, all right, I'm just going to shut up. You know why? Because I'm going to bet on that 14-year-old girl to come up with the right conclusion rather than me. If she's going to fast and pray for a week, who are you going to bet on, me or her? And I look at everything we just learned about Moses, and there were probably scholars that were way more brilliant than Moses. There were probably strategists that could figure out plans way better than Moses. But who are you going to put your money on? The one that's been in his presence. And I don't want to get beyond this point. I just think God's bringing us to a point. There's no point in just throwing out a bunch of other random thoughts to you right now. I just got to ask, do you guys know him, man? Like, do you really long for him? Because, man, sometimes I just want to walk in a church building and hear the guy up front pray like he's really talking to someone that he knows. Rather than just as a cue so that the band can walk on. Or just as a transition, or just because it says on the schedule, prayer time. Man, if you're an unbeliever and you walk into this place of worship, don't you want to walk in and go, man, that guy up there almost scares me. Like there's some sort of connection he has with God. It's like when he prays, stuff happens. It's driving me crazy. I don't know God like that person knows him. Man, is that what people see when they come to your church? Are they just in awe? Like, man, you know him. He listens to you. Man, seriously, I'm listening to the message before mine, and I know I keep referring to it, but it's really messing me up. Because I'm looking at the crowd as he's talking. I'm going, Lord, are they getting this? Are they getting this? This is so huge. This really is the problem in our churches. Is people aren't going up to the mountain. They're not really coming into the presence of God, and it starts with us. And we're busy with so much stuff. But man, look, what is this Bible about? It's about people who depended on God, right? I mean, it's about people who said, I don't care, all the cards are stacked against me, but I know God. So I'm okay. It's about Gideon. Remember Gideon? He saw fire come down from heaven, but that wasn't enough. He's like, well, show me the fleece. Make it wet. No, make it dry. And we get on him like, man, why does he need to test God over and over? No, but once he knew God's with him, once he figured it out, he's like, okay, anything. You want me to fight with 30,000 people? That's fine. 10,000, that's fine. 300, I don't care. You're with me. So I'm okay. You're with me. I don't care. As long as your presence is with me, I don't care if I have 300 men, I'll do it. This book is about Jonathan in 1 Samuel 14. 1 Samuel 14, when the armies of Saul are hiding in a cave, and he just looks, and the Philistine army's up there, and he just looks at his armor bearer. He goes, how about you and I go? Just you and me. And he says in verse 6, he says, nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few. He just goes, I don't care. If it's me, you, and God, that's more than he needs. That's what this book is about. It's like people who really believe still. It's like David, after they took his wives and they get back to Ziklag and his whole army, all their families were taken. And it says that they were all crying till they had no strength left. And then suddenly all the people start looking at David, all the soldiers going, let's kill him. It's his fault. And what does it say? It says, David strengthened himself in the Lord. He had his own army against him. He was weeping the loss of his family. Everything was gone. And now his own men are ready to kill him. And David's like, okay, God, I need you right now. You and me. And he comes out of that time going, okay, I'm good. Let's go. You guys, that's what this book is about. It's about people who say, look, Paul just going, I just want to know him. All I need to do is know him. I want to know him, the power of his resurrection, the fellowship of sharing in his sufferings. Man, I'm good. For me to live, this is all it is to know that he's with me. Like, is that you right now? Because you can have the promised land. What's your promised land? A big church? Think, God, if I could have a big church, if I could write a book, if I could have this staff, if I could have this worship, what is it? What do you want? Or do you want to just walk on a stage and go, gosh, I just know God is with me right now. No way, God's with me right now. His presence is with me. He loves me. He adores me. This is good. I can do anything. I mean, is that your confidence right now? Where you're going, you know what? I'm secure. I'm secure in the cross. I'm resting in him. He loves me. The Lord's my shepherd. I don't want for anything. I'm totally content with him. Man, is that you right now? Is that what the people see in you? It's just the security of this man or woman of God that just says, I'm completely content right now because I know God. I went right past Moses. I saw him on the way down. Just went up the mountain and just stood in awe of God and said, God, that's all I need. Would you just bow your heads right now for a second? Would you just earnestly long for God right now? Just confess if you've been longing for too many other things and striving for too many other things. And right now, just tell God you want to be close to him again. God, would you move right now? God, we can't make anyone fall in love with you. It's a spirit who gives life. The flesh is of no help at all. God, I pray that by your Spirit you would open our eyes, Lord, if we've just been practicing religion, if we just go through steps and we just do things that we were taught by someone else, but we don't truly come into your presence and just worship you, God, would you make us hunger for that? Make us discontent with anything less than that. God, help us. Would you look up at me for a second? I just need to say something right now. I don't know what it is. Okay, I preach every week. I do conferences like this every week. And there's just something today that I feel here with this conference specifically, and I don't know how to put a finger on it. Honestly, there's a part of me that's going, it's just not flowing, and I can't even explain it. And honestly, the last time I felt this was the last time I spoke at the Southern Baptist Convention. And I don't know what it is. I'm not accusing or saying anything, but I think, I don't know, sometimes, I'm not trying to be judgmental or whatever, but sometimes I feel like you guys, I don't even mean you guys. I mean, it happens a lot, but there's like patterns, and there's like things that we do, and there's just these rituals and things that we learned and that were passed on. And sometimes I can see like an emptiness in the eyes while the actions are there, but I'm not seeing like inside your heart, you're just dying. Like inside your heart, you're thinking, man, people are going to hell. I got to do something. I got to save them. I don't see it in your eyes like, man, I don't know God. I gotta know him deeper and deeper. And there's like this longing, and please take this in the right way, man. It's like freaking me out that I'm even saying this to you right now. It's just the heart, the hunger. I see a lot of ritual, a lot of maybe faithfulness over the years, but I'm concerned that there's not this desperate like cry for like, God, man, I just feel like I walk in the service sometimes and I feel like it's so dead. God, I gotta have your power. I've got to have your presence. And maybe I've substituted it by just going through the service order another week. And I just feel like, God, I so don't want to get off my knees and say this to you, but I just had to say something. And I don't know if that resonates with some of you, that I remember sometimes where I would sit in a service and where I'd sit in a church service and everything inside of me just wanted to scream like there's more, there's more. There's something in me that's just dying to get out. I read what happened in the Word and I know there's more, and I've got to pursue it. So I'm going to go up that mountain and I'm going to pursue that. Even if it seems like the people around me don't get it, I've got to pursue it.